Hello, hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, welcome! Don't mind my squeaky chairs, I just kind of adjust myself here. Good to see you all. Today, we're going to be getting pretty much straight to the action, as we have Stormrunner here, up against OBV Ace, and yeah, like I said, we're going to get straight to the action, bit of King of the Hill action today. Welcome, welcome. We got Wicked in the house, Grizz, Lux, Eric, Will of Force. Hammers for the Hammer Throne. Oh yeah, welcome, welcome. Just a bit of hot King of the Hill action today. I do actually have a little overlay we can use. These scores are probably not in the right place, but let's go ahead and just adjust that. We'll make things look professional today. How about that? So here we are. And over here we've got OBV, and the other side is Stormrunner. Storm R. Well, that sounds good. Hello, hello, welcome. Yeah, so let's have a look at these juicy builds. This is, yeah, straight to the action, like I said. And that looks like it might be covering the balance power slightly. Let's see. Can I actually move all of this stuff down slightly there? There we go. Okay. That's fine. That's not going to bother me at all. It's fine. I'll adjust the graphic another time. Okay, so taking a look at builds here. Yeah. Start when ready. For Dark Elves against Coast, as we know, this is a pretty tough matchup, potentially. Morathi here leading the way with a Master, both on Dark Pegasi. Interesting choice. We've got some Harpies, front line, the Black Ark Corsairs, Dark Shards with shields. So, some elite targets. We've also got some, what are those, Doomfire Warlocks? Way in the back there. Interesting. Salacious Harvesters and one unit of Dark Riders with shields. I guess ready to ambush some Hounds in case they were back there. Over on the other side, Carronade, two Mortars, all with some Chevrons. We've also got a Pistol Admiral on foot. Interesting choice. Definitely think this is potentially risky. This is probably, out of all the Vampire Coast like lore choices you can take, this is potentially one of the squishiest. Only 45 defense and 70 armor with 3000 HP is pretty low in terms of defensive stats. Also got some deck gunners here, bombers and zombos from the front line, and a Rotting Leviathan again with some chevrons. It's up to 57-47 in terms of stats. Very interesting. These Harpies are going to push forward, start to get blasted by the deck gunners there. Light Cavalry also pushing up on the wings. Morathi hanging back for the time being with the Master. Probably a good choice. But yeah, these Crows of Cain here, the Karens, getting absolutely lit up. They are all angry, and they look extra strange on this map for some reason. I don't know. Weird. But they're going to get in here. If they can get in contact, actually, on like the cannon crew or even on the deck gunners, they will be able to regenerate a lot of that damage, though, so that's not too bad there. The other Harpies did get routed off by some Hounds that were hidden here in the woods. Very nice play to kind of counter that offense. Let's see if the Dark Shards can get into range and start pouring in some crossbow bolts on these gunners, or sorry, the bombers. Yeah, gunnery mobs with bombs. And now Morathi and the Master also pushing forward as well. The Salacious Harvester is way out here on the wings, kind of drawing this Rotting Leviathan out of position. It's pretty good in terms of value, even if they can just keep the Rotting Leviathan busy for a while. Right now, the Bombers have done quite a bit of damage to the front line. Maybe should have held those Black Ark Corsairs back a little bit until you can do some more damage to the Bombers with the crossbows. As it is right now, that front line engagement is going to go pretty badly for the Dark Elves, and they have invested some funds there. Morathi and the Master also just kind of hanging back right now, not really sure there. The counterfire from these deck gunners has been pretty legit here, although one of the mortars kind of being taken down here. Nicely done as well with the Salacious Harvesters. They should be able to clean up a lot of these units. There are some zombies in the way still, but a lot of the value for the Dark Elf army, keep in mind, is wrapped up in these two heroes, right? So basically, if they can get in here and goon this Vampire, which, again, like I mentioned, this Pistol Admiral, one of the squishier choices. Granted, Morathi and the Master won't get their anti-large bonus here, because there's no crab, you know, for her to ride on, which normally I would say the crab is a must-bring. And here, it might have been a little bit of a liability. It's not that much extra HP, but the big old crab comes back to try and defend. Nice Soul Stealer there. I don't know if that was from the Celestial Harvesters or not, but a Word of Pain from that would be extremely useful right now. I don't know if he's used it already on that crab to help nerf its offensive stats. But yeah, the Vampire is going to be able to escape there. Morathi and the Master now pushing forward and basically just destroying those Deck Gunners in a handful of hits. Deck Gunners have very low HP, so you can see Morathi and the Master just absolutely annihilate them. The Bombers don't really help the situation by blowing them all up. And yeah, you can see despite the horrible losses that the Dark Elves have taken in terms of their actual armies, because so much of their value is wrapped up in these two units right here, really the important thing is to take out the Deck Gunners and the Carronades. The Pistol Admiral, though, right now is getting some really nice damage on Morathi. She will be able to regenerate some of that because of Soul Stealer, but yeah, I don't know. I think it might have been a little bit too much, kind of YOLOing in with the Corsairs, maybe holding them back behind the crossbows until you can at least maybe take out one or two of the units of Bombers, just to not fully get wrecked on that frontline engagement. Those Corsairs actually could have been pretty cost-effective, but here, we got a nice Soul Stealer. Ooh, and the snipe attempt incoming as well. Morathi realizing that Admiral actually is a pretty big threat because of her pistol. It does quite a bit of damage. So these two are going to come down and eliminate the Vampire here, and that will basically that will even things out a little bit. These zombies are going to start to get a little bit scattered here against a lot of these troops, and of course hounds count as infantry, right? Scurvy dogs, all hound units except for Norscan Ice Wolves. They have a lower model count, and they count as large. Everything else counts as infantry. They're going to get in here and be able to mop those Dark Shards, but these Corsairs actually, in this type of a situation, should be able to protect. Like, there's at least one full health unit of Dark Riders there for Stormrunner. Morathi and the Master also coming back. The Master in particular has to be a little bit careful here against the Crab. Morathi can heal herself, and with the debuffs, it's not as big of an issue, but they do have to be careful. They really don't want to take that 1v1 fight. Really should peel and try and get over here and start to fight like these zombies and the crabs as well. If they can get the support, or the dogs I mean, if they can get the support of this unit of Dark Shards to help take out that crab, that will be pretty critical. Looks like the Celestial Harvesters also came back, but right now Stormrunner is just standing and fighting here, which with the Soul Stealer, he's going to be able to force a pretty nice blob. Not that that's, you know, quote-unquote efficient against the zombies. It really is efficient, though, if you can use it on multiple units like that. It'll at least choose some models away, and at the very least do a little bit of HP damage there. Morathi just tanking it right now, and the Master as well, just getting all the bombs directly to the face. Oh, man. Nice smoke effect there, but they can peel out over here. Let's get in close. Haven't got too many cinematic shots this battle. It's been pretty wild, honestly. Interesting game. I think the Dark Elves have pretty much got this. Yeah, balance of power starts to turn as the Crab actually is getting beat down by Morathi and the Master. I was saying they should peel out and go back, but it looks like, you know, with their stats and with the anti-large, they do just fine here. And the Crab actually goes down. Very interesting. I thought Stormrunner had that one lost, but yeah, that build, that air build, because he was able to protect it enough, I do think it would be a much bigger risk of handgunners, and like the triangle gun crab, potentially, I mean, I'd be curious to see the HP versus, you know, not having the anti-large bonus being a factor, like which one ends up being more efficient. Probably none of them are, but at least with the two gunnery whites plus her on a crab, kind of in a triangle, they can give each other supporting fire, right? So if Morathi and the Master drop on one of them, the other two can turn and fire. Quick defensive buff or, you know, whatever, healing to try and sustain them in that fight. It's an interesting one, though. Yeah, well played to Stormrunner. Those Celestial Harvesters are able to do really well, too. That's a unit that you often see get misused pretty badly, but that was a very nice use there. For OBV, yeah, this build it does invest pretty heavily on the ranged. I'm not the biggest fan of Deck Gunners as a unit in general. I honestly think you trade these guys out for two, again, even Gunnery Whites on foot would be nice here, but on the Crabs does make them a bit tankier, although, again, brings us back to the discussion of anti-large, but very interesting. Yeah. Yeah, let me see, you know what, maybe in between rounds while these guys are taking their armies, I can fix that real quick. Because I could, like, pull it down a little bit here, but then it's going to be, like, off-center, and that will just bother me. But, yeah. I guess if you guys prefer just the no scoreboard. Oh, I didn't link my stream in my Discord. I totally forgot to. My bad. Since YouTube is potato at sending notifications. Okay. So, okay, let's do this. I'm gonna try and see if I can update it in the meantime. So OBV gets eliminated. You know what? Actually, I'll just turn it off. I'm gonna retool that. I think not have it have both sides because that seems wrong. That to have the King of the Hill. Oh, it's wins leader. Okay, I was like, why is it? I'm just potato brain because I haven't used this in a while. Yeah, we'll just turn that off. Honestly, I keep forgetting to fix that. Move that little piece down a little bit, but yeah, I was thinking yeah. See, the problem with LaForce is it's all one graphic, right? Like I don't have them separated. Like I have see, like this is all one graphic. It's like I made that on Photoshop just as all one piece, so I'd have to like go into Photoshop and change it. Kind of like this. I guess I could use this one, which is just the regular turny one, but then it doesn't have like the context of, you know, what is what. But I guess that works for now. We'll just do that. That's fine. Oh, what? Huh? What happened? Did it kick? I didn't see. What happened to Stormrunner? Definitely live. Interesting. Doesn't show you. Huh. Okay, looks like, yeah, Stormrunner's just having an issue right now. Warmaster of Sotek also says, I don't see you live. Oh, there we go. Okay, okay. You had to look it up, really. It wasn't showing it on my feed? It wasn't showing it, like, on the subscription feed? That's so weird, dude. YouTube's new streaming system is whack, man. I need to just go back to using Classic. Because I've had some issues, man. Like, people are getting notifications. Somebody sent me like, on Discord, they posted a picture here of them getting a notification of that a stream I did like, yeah, a week ago. He's getting a notification for that. So YouTube's notification system is just absolutely broken. Yeah, sure, no problem. Um. Alright, yeah, if Stormrunner can't rejoin, we'll just rehost the lobby. No big deal there. Yeah. Okay. Guess we can get some music going in the meantime. Twitch does have its own issues, yeah. Oh, geez. Okay, that was kind of loud, right? Sorry, that was startling. It was right in the middle of the song. What's on the agenda? Just some King of the Hill action. We've got the list going over here, so... Oh no, not that. Not wide-ruling Agamemnon. Oh my, I need to get back to that one, though. That's probably my favorite, like, thumbnail, like, meme I've ever made. As soon as I heard that wide-ruling Agamemnon, like, epithet, I was like, oh yeah. Oh yeah. You already know what's coming. Okay, so let me see here. Yeah, that's correct. Currently, Stormrunner is the win's leader. Okay. Wide-ruling Agamemnon. Oh yeah. So much fun. Honestly, he is, like, ridiculous. Like, he would take up 3 airplane seats, you know? Like he sits on, like, a 3-person couch by himself, and that's it, you know? Like, he is wide-ruling. Nice. I honestly should get... I don't really have time to read as much as I would like anymore, like actual books. Should get some audiobooks of the Warhammer stuff, though, because I've not really read any of the lore, to be honest. Alright, High Elves ban... Oh! Uh-oh. No, Stormrunner dropped again. Might have to rehost. Okay. Oh, no. No, I mean, if you look at him, he's ripped, right? I'm not fat-shaming him. I'm just saying that he is literally as wide as a semi-truck, right? Like, just the width of his shoulders alone, like, you could probably fit, like, a twin-size mattress. CA nerfing Stormrunner. Okay. You guys saw my super secret password there. Guess I can remove the spectator slots. Okay. Skip the Vampire Wars trilogy. Okay. Alright, good to know. Audiobooks, though, here's the thing. Even if it's not written super well, if it's narrated well, then it can be good. But if the storyline, separate, but... Right? Like, we're just gonna switch back over. This is not a Troy stream, but let's just take a minute to appreciate how wide Agamemnon is. Need to pick that back up. Keep meaning to. Been a little bit busy, and honestly, the few times that I have available to stream, a lot of the time I would rather stream Total War Warhammer multiplayer, and that's just me personally. Nothing against Troy. Troy's awesome, and a lot of people I see have been having a lot of fun with it. Non-single entity units for the Beastman update. Tuskor chariots is the one for me. Beastmen have a cheaper chariot that would be, first of all, big chariot fan. Second, more chariots, like with new beasts, right? Like, let me see if I can find. If Sotek's in here, maybe he can post a link to it, or we have the technology. I could look it up right here. Oh yeah, the Games Workshop official, of course. Be appropriate to link that. So this This is what I want. Tuskor Chariot. You can see it's like they're like chaos yaks. I don't know. I don't even know. They're awesome. I love whatever that thing is that's pulling it. But they're a little bit lighter. Like a little bit. They probably would be maybe they'd be AP, but cheaper. Maybe a little bit faster, but less HP, less armor. Yes, I'm talking about Tuskor Chariots. Jab throwing gores. I don't know if that's a thing in tabletop, but I personally would love that. As a lover of javelins, my secret... Oh, I should probably actually lock in a map here that's not completely terrible. We'll go with the classic Harriot Ridge. Scores are basically the same. No, here's the thing though: is it's like kind of like in tabletop how Swordmasters and White Lions, I guess, are kind of the same thing, right? I don't know. Maybe there's some differences, but yeah, just have them be like 750 or 850 and about the same power level as like a Chaos Chariot or like just a regular the chariot in that cost class, I guess. Like cheaper, something cheaper and less powerful than the Razorgore. Because right now, like, really feels bad, especially you compare to like the Gobbo Chariot or like the, Tomb Kings, Chaos, Norska. There's a lot of factions that have cheaper chariots. Triple fisting Croc scores. Okay. Proxigores with anti-large great weapons. Yeah. To be honest, if they gave the Sacred Proxigores anti-large, that would actually make them really good. Like a plus 15, plus 10, plus 15 bonus versus large. That would be really strong. Maybe it wouldn't actually make them worth it, but it would make them hard counter Bretonia even more. Anyway. Let's take a look here. Norska versus High Elves. We'll start with the High Elves. Looks like Healer Tyrion. Interesting choice. Tyrion's kind of an interesting choice here, I have to say. We've got some Rangers, White Lions. I don't know about that big. Archers. A couple of Dragon Princes and the Fireborn. Interesting. I don't know. Maybe this is kind of a mind game pick, right? Because you would expect that the Norskins wouldn't bring Famir here because Sylvan Guards are actually really good at countering Famir. Sylvan Guards are actually just really good in this matchup in general. I'm surprised not to see any, to be honest, but bringing the Dragon Princes is a huge risk because these guys right here, which he did actually bring, Famir with great weapons, kind of like hard counter. I mean, their attack is still a little low, but you factor the anti-large bonus in, 27 bonus versus large. They're hitting for, yeah, like 50, 60 melee attack. Plus, you've got the Mammoth's War Shrine here, which can give Giver of Glory. Now, granted, Giver of Glory does give fire damage as well, so you wouldn't want to use that when they're fighting the Dragon Princes. But we've also got a Shadow Famir here, Wolfric on a Mammoth, so double Mammoth. I think this is actually technically a rule break. Hang on. Let me check something. Let me check something. I need to double check banner rules. Because I don't know, actually, this is if the ROR rule is still in place. I don't know if you're allowed to actually take the ROR plus Wolfric. Is that correct? One of you guys can double check. I'm also looking here, but where's the for Norska? Oh yeah, this is a rule break. Yeah, it says on the Norska sheet I'm looking at right here. Oh geez, I'm an idiot. It's not the Soul Crusher. Wow, okay, yeah. I'm really dumb. I thought it was that. No, it's tournament? Okay. Yeah, I should have probably been reading the chat here. I thought it was the War Shrine too. I got confused between the Shrine and the ROR, but that's fine. That's fine. I didn't know also if I didn't like Wolfric doesn't also count as an ROR, right? I at one point I think that was the case, but Arrow might have changed that. I don't remember. I was thinking that like he counted also as an ROR mammoth. But yeah, the War Shrine's not actually good here, so it's yeah, 2 mammoths, yep. Did kind of give that away, but it's fine. I mean, you kind of expect it, right? Yeah, the War Shrine here, the regular mammoth is actually better in this matchup, because there's a lot of units that have fire resistance that you're likely to see here, whether it be a techless bird, dragon, Tyrion also has fire resistance, right, which is here, and Dragon Princess also. This Giver of Glory is actually kind of bad in this matchup. It's much better to just have the regular mammoth that has the anti-large javelins on the back. Yeah, you just get much better efficiency in that way. Here, though, we can see, yeah, this build is pretty interesting. I don't know about just the Rangers and the White Lions, unless he knows something I don't, but maybe Tyrion can get in there, mix it up with the Famir Great Weapons. I just don't see he has, like, great answers. Maybe he gets a good open field charge with the Dragon Princes. They can mop up the Famir, but I don't know about that. Rangers are definitely taking some damage on the approach here. It's not too big of a deal, but focus firing on the Mammoth here is pretty good stuff. Only 70 armor on the Mammoth means it will take a solid amount of damage. Now these Marauder Horsemen look like they might try and get back and get at these archers here. The White Lions were in a position to protect. Now the Dragon Prince is pulling up. You can see here that the Rangers trade pretty well versus the Marauders, all things considered. Right there, they do get the boat. And right now, again, the issue here, ooh, nice Burning Head too. A couple of great wind spells from OBV. It gives aura around him. Yeah, but honestly, I feel like the anti-large javelins are probably just better value. Maybe. Right now, it is punching through these Rangers pretty hard here. It looks like the White Lions are maybe trying to get up and get on those Famir Warriors. I'm not sure 100%. If they can actually, like, get the Famir without getting charged, but right now, ooh, yeah, getting charged by the Mammoth, that's pretty bad. Granted, again, a lot of the value is wrapped up right here in these Dragon Princes, so let's see. They're going to pop out, go a little wide there. These White Lions were able to mop up right here, and a little bit of miss micro from these Famir. They're maybe going to get caught by these White Lions, possibly. No, looks like Stormrunner missed the attack order there. White Lions actually 18 charge bonus with 38 attack. Probably would do some damage to those Famir Great Weapons. Nice little center pocket right now, though. Dragon Prince has got to be careful. If they get direct charges on the Famir, like nice, clean charges, they will absolutely wreck them. But the Famir, likewise... Ooh, another brutal... Oh, it wasn't Burning Head, of course. Duh. Penumbral Pendulum. It's been a long day, guys. Nice charge from these Dragon Princes here, but they need to immediately pull away before those Famir get into contact, or else turn around and countercharge them. They do have support of these White Lions here. Now going to move in and get this second group of Famir. Again, pretty good engagement there. Archers are kind of rallying, doing their own thing, keeping those Marauder Horsemen busy back there, but we need to stay focused on these Dragon Princes. This is a really nice situation, again, for these White Lions, though, because they're pursuing, right? The Famir aren't really getting many attacks on them. These guys are pursuing. They're getting some nice armor-piercing attacks, like on the sides and the rear of the Famir. I mean, granted, the Chad Famir can just push right through them, but once they expose themselves like this, then, again, Dragon Prince is pulling up and around. Oh, looks like they're going to go for a charge on Wolfric. This is maybe dangerous. Yeah, because getting rear charged by the Famir right here, and a nice Penumbral Pendulum there. If Wulfric has a boat, oh, looks like the Famir, oh man, oh, Stormrunner wanted to charge in there. Would have been pretty dangerous, but yeah, with the Mammoth involved in that fight, that's not as great. If he could have maybe charged in before they got too close to the Mammoth. These archers, though, having a saga all their own over there. Various High Elf Infantry coming back. Good thing about High Elf Infantry is decent leadership. Even relatively tattered, it'll come back and try and bog things down here. That balance of power started in Norska's favor. Didn't look great for them from the outset. But you can see here that they've been able to thin out a lot of these units. And basically the goal here is, like, if you can get rid of all the supporting infantry, the Dragon Princes should be able to cycle charge a lot of these large units if they can catch them out in the open, like right here. Oh man, they're going to get frostbitten a little bit from that boat, and the Famir might be able to catch a few of them. They're still fast enough, 49 speed. It's a little pocket of infantry holding decently here, but yeah, they need to start cycle charging these Famir pretty badly. Tyrion is still basically completely healthy, but I'd like to see some regrowths probably pop up on these Dragon Princes here. Nice charge, though, Earthblood, and you can see that massive charge bonus plus the anti-large. These Famir get pretty well melted considering 110 armor, quote-unquote non-armor piercing unit. Would have been nice to have Plague of Rust here as well, perhaps, but it is extra cost. I don't know, though. I still think probably Silverin Guards are better than these White Lions. They also beat Marauders. Nice secondary charge here. There's a lot of extra units mixed in this time, though. Those Dragon Princes are probably going to take quite a bit of damage there. Yeah, that's a little bit of a rougher situation. Try and pull away and maybe cycle charge there a little bit more. I just don't think Stormrunner has enough left in the tank. Again, I think if he had brought more of a defensive infantry line there, that's maybe they wouldn't win. You know, maybe it's not as good, but they're just going to hold for a longer amount of time and allow this cavalry to operate with support. But I don't completely hate this Tyrion Dragon Prince kind of squad here, and Tyrion especially being so healthy still. He does have Hunter of Champions on him, but he gets a rear charge on Wulfric. Does his charge bonus factor in there at all? Not really. Looks like another wind spell going to be going down. Because of the models here, it's not going to make the best contact, but it does make some contact. Standard ground puts those Fireborn up to 62 melee defense. Wow, pretty impressive. But at the same time, I mean, that anti-large with the attack and everything, yeah, Famir definitely hitting hard. Ooh, and there's a Sunfang there. That's going to be dodged. Yeah. I didn't see him use that before. Maybe he got some good value on it, but a little bit of a rough pick. Yeah, the archer's getting nuked by the wind spells, and definitely credit to Legion here getting those nice wind spells. Good placement. So pretty much the whole match has had solid placement, and timing as well is pretty key. And that's another reason to bring Silverin Guard. They have magic resistance, right? So they will hold better. They'll still take some losses to something like a Penumbral Pendulum or the boat, but they will take less losses than, obviously, Rangers or even White Lions. Yeah, I really feel like you need some Silverin Guards here. I actually think if, again, you just change up the infantry line a little bit with some Silverins and Spears, I think, instead of Rangers. Maybe you take a couple Rangers or one, but just more defensive infantry, and then basically the same build. I'd probably also cut some things from, maybe you keep Sunfang. You're not going to have the same kind of offensive infantry to help thin out the Marauders a little bit, but yeah. Or if you want to be, like, actually competitive, then you probably take, like, Hilariel and 2 Nobles plus the Dragon Princes. I don't know, but I like the idea of using Dragon Princes here. And Tyrion's still fighting. You know, I'm like saying this is over, but look at this. Look at this. Tyrion actually routs the War Shrine here by himself. Now, I just don't think, unfortunately, that Tyrion's leadership is going to hold up here, but this Life Mage is also still alive. And look over here. These Dragon Princes came back. They're going to rout this this unit of Marauder Horsemen here. I mean, there's, what, 7 and 10? So it's not like they can do a lot, but this is not over. Stormrunner's not giving up without a fight here. Question is, can Famir actually beat Tyrion? I don't know if he's trying to pull out here. Tyrion definitely can't pull out, but he needs to just try and stand and fight. But yeah, once Wulfric comes in with his charge bonus, 70 or 68 up on the Mammoth. Feint and Riposte, though, on Tyrion helped him a bit there. His stats are still so ridiculous. 83 and 72, man. That's the one thing about Tyrion. His melee attack and defense are ridiculous, but as a squishy horse lord, he does kind of get cleaned. Is he going to get the Heart of Avalorn proc here? Oh, he's actually on foot? No, he's on horseback. Okay. Oh, but look at that Sunfang, though. It actually clears out a whole bunch of the chaff, and then is he going to route these Famir as well before he routes? Nope. Wolfric comes in, big old smack to the back of the head. Here come the Dragon Princes, trying to get there in time to bail him out. But honestly, those Dragon Princes, if they had had a few more models there with a little bit more healing, considering how Tyrion was holding out, he honestly could have staged a comeback there. But I might steal parts of this build from Stormrunner. I actually think Tyrion with the double Dragon Princes is maybe not terrible, honestly, with the healer. I would just change the infantry composition, and then, depending on how much it costs, it might be worth it to get even just a Lore of Metalcaster on foot to like stand with the archers to debuff armor, and also if you can get a Plague of Rust when the Dragon Princes are going to get a clean charge too. On the Famir, of course, it's more important, I would say, for them than the Mammoths, but it's also really nice for the Mammoths too. You can get them down to 10 armor and just take all of the extra damage from the charges and the arrows and everything, but still very well played to Stormrunner there. That was an interesting one. I think Pendulum and Seafang are fine. The fact that you have both of them together, yeah. Oh yeah, no problem, Bob. It's all good. Patty Wampus up next. Let's get him going here. And we'll change up the map. Plane of Spiders I feel like I do all the time. Let's change it up and go with Storm Demon. I actually kind of like this map. Okay, go, and I keep closing my music player, which I don't mean to. Alright. Harpies are actually a decent tool for specific things. Like, if you need them to get in and, like, tie down a unit against a faction that doesn't have a lot of flying tools, like, they can be good for tying down weapons teams at times. They're just really squishy for that purpose. Like, they have more of an, if I remember right, I have to look at their attack and defense, which I don't want to... I guess I could put the Wurzag blocker up. That makes everyone happy, right? Where are you at, Wurzag? Oh no, where'd he go? Where'd you go, dancing Wurzag? There we go. Oh, I was gonna look at his Beastmen, but never mind. Yeah, that's my screen blocker. Yeah, I don't know why Beastmen don't have the Manticore as a unit. Like, you would think out of any faction that should have the Manticore as a unit, like, why the Beastmen don't? That's the craziest thing to me, but... Yep. You would rather have the thick Memnon? Okay, I guess we can do that. As a blocker. I will agree to this. Yes, wide ruling Agamemnon. Alright, so he's gonna go Vampire Counts, ban High Elves, Dark Elves, Pattywampus now gonna go Britonia, so should be in for a joust here, an absolute joust, which is always a good time. It's the Medieval 2 Total War soundtrack is where all of this music is from. So I'm actually gonna go grab a drink of water, guys. I'll be right back. Enjoy. Okay, and I'm back, and I need to update the scoreboard here. So current wins leader is... I guess Stormrunner and Legion are currently tied at 1, but we'll put Stormrunner over on the other side. Here. And go ahead and pop that. Over here. Yes. This one here. Cool. And they're waiting on me, so let's go. If someone takes Huntsman General today, Dov will pay you. That's not true. Don't put that on me, Ricky Bobby. No. Maybe though. Maybe I'll pay you if someone else pays me. Just kidding. Can I not move all of this together? Oh, I can move the text, but not all of that. Okay, that's fine. Alright, thanks. Thanks, Agamemnon. Ultra-wide ruling. Anyway. Oh man, that's gonna bother me now. Why did I mess with that? Oh my goodness, okay. Fine. That's fine. Just move it back a little bit. Focusing on gods and their buffs and stuff. Focus on sneaky assassins and spies. Focus on diplomatic. Yeah. Yeah, for me, like, the different campaign mechanics of the different, like, lords is kind of what keeps it interesting. Like, I really like the allied recruitment mechanic from... Oh, who is it? No, it's Menelaus, that's right. Menelaus, King of Sparta. He has like the coalition mechanic where you can recruit units from allied factions. I love that personally. I think that would be an awesome feature for certain factions. Like if you could make that for, let's say, Dwarfs and Empire, if you have good relations with maybe Karaza Karak or another Dwarf hold, then you can potentially, recruit other order, units. Obviously, you wouldn't want, like, Dwarfs recruiting High Elves. Sorry, guys, just adjusting my mic. So, sorry if that's kind of loud. But, yeah, like, just in general, having more, a kind of interplay, or even for the Chaos factions, too. Like, I know there's a little bit of precedent in the lore for, like, Beastmen occasionally working with Warriors of Chaos, sort of when the gods tell them to. Like, they don't really like each other normally, right? But like certainly if the gods commanded it, or like if you were, let's say, if you're playing a Chaos campaign as Archaon, if you subjugate like Wulfric or Throg, like one of the main Norscan factions, if you subjugate them, then you can maybe recruit, like, I don't know, maybe Famir and a couple of others, you know, just as kind of an idea, but there's a lot of other cool campaign mechanics too. Like the vassal tax system from Agamemnon, obviously with his massive wide rule. But anyway, let's talk about the builds here in front of us. On Storm Demon today, we've got Bretonnia versus Vampire Counts. And I see a black coach, so already this build is a win. We've got some Blood Knights here. Blood Knights. So triple Blood Knight, Corpse Cart, Unholy Lodestone, bunch of spears. This is good. I've been wanting to see some triple Blood Knight play. Some more triple Blood Knight play, I should say. Helmengorst! Oh, man. Oh, man. You know, Helmengorst, you might think is a meme, but actually against Bretonnia, unless he gets killed by Lewin, basically, he's pretty good, because the knights, like Grail Knights and, you know, Knights Realm, whatever, are going to have to surround him to kill him, right? And he is a Mortis engine, so you might think this is really dumb, and it kind of is. But honestly, it's not. It's like, it can work, and especially with the two black coaches operating on the flanks, or I guess just the one, but to provide some terror against Bretonnian infantry. And the black coach is great for disruption as well. It can get in here and roll over all these archers. This Necromancer does have zombie summons, the Forbidden Rod. I think Gorse probably, yeah, just Graveguard summons there. Which actually is pretty good in this matchup, believe it or not. Unfortunately, the healing Necromancer is getting absolutely lit up right now, and it looks like the Fey Enchantress and the two Paladins going to take a proactive stance, try and go after that Black Coach. Obviously, Fey Enchantress being relatively light is going to get screened out there. Battle Pilgrims and Peasant Mobs also in the front here, in the back for Bretonnia. Got some Grail Knights. They're sweeping out to see if they can get a charge on those Blood Knights. Blood Knights now pulling away some spears, just a bunch of bows. The Grail Relic here in the center with some Men-at-Arms with pole arms. Pretty good. Also, the Fey Enchantress dropping a Comet. Now, even though it's not going to do all that much damage to the Blood Knights, they are able to mostly dodge. It will still contact these Graveguard, and likewise, it does force them to move, so they're not going to be... did some damage to the Holy Wardens, too, all things considered. But yeah, on the Sternsman, it's a pretty decent play there. You can see in the back, these two Paladins have got way overextended. They're now surrounded by Blood Knights. That being said, because all the Blood Knights are there, this unit over here gets 2v1'd by Grail Knights with Shield of Thorns active. It is absolutely getting canned there. Might actually fully disintegrate, which is pretty huge. Blood Knights are super hard to kill unless you can fully finish the unit, like, early on. If you let them recover and get healing, like, they are super, super annoying to deal with. Speaking of which, Black Coach in the back line now starting to disrupt a lot of these archers, getting some good terror as well. This Grail Relic holding a pocket free of terror here with some of the Men-at-Arms with pole arms and so on. But yeah, these Blood Knights, surprised they're still alive. They are trying to pull away. They're crumbling pretty badly. But the Paladins tanking damage, just holding this blob tight for the time being. Enchantress probably wants to get in melee with these zombies and just start to get a nice drain effect, AoE drain effect going here. But regardless, one Paladin's gone. That's a little bit rough. This Grail Knight now needs to be careful as well. This Blood Knight, you can see, Invocation of Nehek is keeping it alive. And this Blood Knight, as I mentioned, they are ridiculously hard to kill. And I don't even think that's going to get finished off, which is just, you know, feel the balance. And the Grail Knights actually have to pull away there as the other kind of mass of Blood Knights pushes up and around here. It's not going to be great for them, but as soon as the Blood Knights turn around, you can see they get a counter charge. Very nicely done. They're going to be saturating in the back of these Blood Knights here. The Blood Knights do pull through some of their own troops, though, and they're going to pull back with the spears and everything. It's just not a good situation. Fey Enchantress, like I said, though, it not being in melee this whole time, I think is potentially a pretty big mistake from Patty Wampus here. It could have been draining all of these zombies, and, like, especially these skeleton spears. You really want to be getting rid of the HP there as quickly as you can, because they're just going to take a long time to kill otherwise. Grail Knights charging in here now, though. They've got a pretty decent surround on this Black Coach. The Black Coach is a decently important target, but you see how Gorst is draining this entire blob here? So Gorst is kind of the anti-Fey, right? Like, he is also a Mortis Engine Lord who's kind of hard to kill, in all honesty, and him, especially being on these Grail Knights right here, and a beautiful Scab Scrath placement as well, just gets a bunch of these Battle Pilgrims. Those Grail Knights do not want to be in that fight. They really should pull away and try not fight Gorst as much as they can. The Paladins, I think losing the Paladins might be a big issue here if they both get chased off, because they are going to be one of the best tools for dealing with Gorst, believe it or not. The Archers as well. Archers can be tough to protect. Right now they're doing fine, but the Black Coach still online? Yeah, get those Grail Knights out of there. They do not want to be taking that fight against the nasty, gross Gorst men. Over here, Like, yeah, detach, maybe go after this black coach there. Oh no, what are you doing? Don't dive back in the front line. Yeah, this is potentially a mistake. He's going to get a little bit of a charge there. Probably trying to go after those Blood Knights, but I would have detached, come over here and try and poach this black coach. Perhaps, yeah, losing the Paladins is pretty tough. I'm not going to call it early for Vampire counts. Definitely Bretonnia still has a chance with the Fanchantress alive, certainly, but nice bomb drop right there. Going to clear out some of the chaff. I think, were those actual summon zombies? Yeah. It's still, though, getting on the Skeleton Spears is actually not the worst. Not super great in terms of value, but that Black Coach is becoming an issue, and likewise the Grail Knights just continuously getting bogged down. Thankfully, they do have perfect vigor, but because crumbling is so balanced, it just takes so long to get rid of anything with the Vampire counts, and yeah, that's why Fanchantress not being in combat for quite a while is a big deal, right? Like, you just need as much uptime as possible. A Black Coach is going to punch through here, although now might get surrounded by Grail Knights. Oh no, looks like they dropped their attack order. Oh, that sucks. That really, really sucks. They could have got a great charge right there and probably taken it out. Yeah, I don't know. Or maybe Pattywampus accidentally issued a move order instead of an attack order. Can be a bit tricky sometimes. Blood Knights, though, still healing up. As mentioned, one unit alive. Where's the other Blood Knights? Yeah, over here. I think it's just those two. The other unit might have eventually... Nope, 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 it's over there. That's, of course, this is the unit that got super low. But now the Grail Knights do get in, get a good surround. Unfortunately, the Blood Knights are coming through, though, and they're going to be able to get a rear charge. Grail Knights, well done there. Turning around and counter-charging, exactly what you want to do. The Blood Knights definitely don't want that. They're going to pull away. Probably try and rear charge the Fanchantress here, perhaps. She is a little bit exposed in a dangerous situation to those Blood Knights, but as long as the Grail Knights can stay free and stay alive, stay active, finish off... Oh man, I want to say this Black Coach started with 1 XP Chevron, but it's up to 2 more gained throughout the battle. That is great work, although it is going to absolutely go down here to these Grail Knights. Yeah, it's done. And that terror being gone is a big deal, and the anti-infantry as well. The disruption of that was very key in shutting down these archers. Gorst and the other Necromancer here are kind of all blocked up around the Grail Reliquary. That's hilarious. I don't know, with this one unit of Blood Knights still so healthy, and this second one here, we'll see. These Grail Knights are going to have their work cut out for them. Fanchantress being alive certainly helps, and she's going to get in here and continue the drain. The drain on these Blood Knights is a big deal, but those Grail Knights took a lot of damage on that counter charge there. Honestly, Vampires should just stand and fight here with the spear support. Just leave the Blood Knights there. Like, yeah, especially with the Unholy Lodestone from Gorst healing them, it's going to be a better trade, actually, because if you think about it, right, Bretonnia has the Mortis effect, but the Vampires also have the Mortis effect, right? So they kind of cancel each other out. What the Corpse Cart also brings to the table, though, is it has an attack defense buff, which I guess Miss the Lady does have a defense attack debuff, right? Yeah, but healing more importantly. This Unholy Lodestone area of effect, it doesn't seem like a lot, 2 HP per second, but considering, you know, your crumbling is only 10 damage per second, you can negate 20% of that just with that Unholy Lodestone ability by itself, right? So yeah, you can see here Grail Knights getting chased off, racked up 2 chevrons, both got absolute work done, but because crumbling is such a balanced mechanic, yeah, it ends up going, maybe the Fanchantress will win this, actually. I just don't see it at this point. Once the Blood Knights come in and rear charge her, that's going to do a lot of damage. Are still a handful of tattered Bretonnian troops around, though. The Grail Relic, absolute MVP here. Gorst is tanking the damage of the Fanchantress. Yeah, the Grail Knight's getting chased off here fully by the Blood Knights. Legion's been doing a good job of completely chasing units off. Did he actually lose another Blood Knight there? He did. Wow. The Grail Knights actually still even come back. Oh, no. Oh, man. But then immediately just get walloped by the Blood Knights there. I don't know. What do you guys think? Can the Fae get this? Gorst. Gorst, you say, yes. Chrome rims on the coach, absolutely. My favorite Vampire Council Lord is a dead one, that is correct, yes. I don't know. Maybe the Enchantress wins this. I just don't see it once these Blood Knights come back. You can see the Halberds are trying to get into position. I don't know, man. Blood Knights are going for the archers, and like I get that, but at the same time, you need to clean up the Enchantress. Like, you gotta clean up the Enchantress. And look at these Halberds here coming in to engage Gorst. I mean, they are going to get drained out and probably rout immediately. But they might do a tiny bit of damage to Gorst in the meantime. Blood Knights hammering home on those archers. They get all of them to shatter pretty much. I don't know. That might actually crush army losses now, especially since it's just the Enchantress left. But, oh man, that was close. That was actually a really good game. I think, honestly, it might not seem like much, but having the Enchantress, even just fighting the summoned zombies in the backline to keep that drain effect going, being able to have the Grail Knights just operate that little bit extra more freely, I don't know. I don't know if he could have won it even with that. It was close enough that maybe plays on one side or the other would have swung it, but this is a pretty good example game of why I'm not a fan of this triple Blood Knight change that was recently made to the banner rule set. I really think that, yeah, you should be limited to 2 Blood Knights. But Gorst OP, yeah, no, Gorst is actually kind of good in this matchup. And a build like this, especially, where you have the 3 Blood Knights to deal a bunch of damage, Black Coach, 114 kills, 2 XP chevrons, yeah, GG indeed. All the Blood Knights, I guess one of them got crumped pretty hard there, but even still being able to survive that whole engagement, like they were still tying down 2 Grail Knights for like way longer than they should have. Crumbling was a bit more balanced. They definitely would have been gone there, and I feel like they should have, absolutely. That was a great engagement for Patty Wampas, but yeah, nice play with the Black Coach, really like that. 161 kills on the Sturdsman, despite the fact they took that Comet early on to the face. Holy Wardens also traded pretty well into them, 173 and 82 for these Battle Pilgrims, also pretty nice there. The Men-at-Arms with Polearms, I get what you're going for here, helping to support against the Blood Knights. And the Grail Knights, 187, 122, absolute powerhouse in this matchup. It's interesting, like, the Paladins kind of getting overextended, obviously, might have been a big issue. They like having them in the back, but at the same time, they were kind of forcing a blob and like tying down a lot of the Legion's troops for a good amount of that time. I don't know. It was a close game. It was a close game, yeah. Grail Relic. Yeah, but did you see? He was even tanking there at the end. GG. That was a fun one. Okay, so now we got Bob dropped, so let's get Red Legion in here. Where is he at? Cool. Pentagrail Reliquary. Oh yeah, you know it. Oh yeah. I don't know about the Green Knight. He's pretty expensive, and vampire counts. Like, the Gorst Drain, it won't do that much to him, but it is going to do damage to him over time, like, pretty reliably, so I don't know, man. I don't know. And the vampire counts also have, like, I guess Banshees he'll just beat the brakes off of because he's a way better combatant. I don't know, maybe actually it would be good. Although, do Mortis Engines do magic damage, like in melee? Might be an interesting one to check. Okay, Red Legion does actually want to be at the end, so in that case, we'll move on to F-Pod. Go ahead and switch the map up here. We'll go for... let's go Toothgrass Hill. It's not a King of the Hill without Toothgrass Hill. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, we've been going pretty quick today. I might Might be able to get in some of the reserves. I know some other people were posting, so I think we can probably get through everyone. Just in case they aren't in chat here, most of them probably are, but Therese, Valkanos, Cabo Slayer, of course. Cabo Slayer actually posted first. We still have one more on the list, right? Yeah, Flying Taco is up after F-Pod, which Flying Taco is a very, very good player. Legion has been proving himself. Let's see here. Yeah. Looks like he's going to pick Coast, Ban, Dawi, and Empire. Two solid bans, so that's a pretty solid pick and ban. And yeah. So I've got the order next. After Flying Taco, aka Yeet Burrito, we are going to have... nope, not that. This here. Just getting it copied onto my MLG notepad real quick. Cool. Cable service spam, that's a new one. I have never seen that one before. Oh yeah, Gorst is actually kind of good. Like you might think it's a meme, but final boss is Dov with Carl on horse and 20 pistoliers. Oof, oof. Don't give me ideas. Yeah, it's a build with 4 war wagons, 2 pistoliers. Have you tried winning with only pistoliers? Yep. Volkmar. Actually, probably be Volkmar plus 19 pistoliers. That would be my preferred stack. A fan of the Pimp Wagon. I like Chariot Lords. I just like chariots in general, to be honest. Chariots are cool. I really hope we get Sirth Ek as a legendary lord one day. Please, please, please. Nakai! Maybe. Maybe, if you guys believe enough, a Nakai will show. Or maybe if you convince one of the competitors to. Dov works day shifts as a croc score laborer. That's why my shoulders are getting so jacked. No, I'm just kidding. Man, it's a hot day today. Actually gonna go get some more water. I'll be right back. Why? Why WB bingo? Taco, why are you not a moderator? Here, I'll make you a moderator. You can help slay the bots, since I guess I'm popular enough to get bots. I'm a real YouTuber now, guys. Congratulations. You all... It's because of you. Okay, let's go ahead and have a look here at some builds. Yep, just checking things. Okay. So, Skaven versus Coast. Interesting. Potentially an interesting matchup. Let's take a look at what Coast has gone with here. Definitely more rush-oriented. Noctilus, we've got a Haunter. Haunters and Mournguls in general, very strong in this matchup. We do have two of them, including the ROR Night Terrors. Some Depth Guard, dual hand weapons, a couple bombers, zombos up front, and a mobile hit squad of hounds to go along with the Haunters. It's an interesting matchup potentially for the Skaven. What have we got though? We got some Giselles, Natty Boobos, some Rat Ogres here, a Plague Priest with a Master Assassin. Ooh, you know, I think I see what he's going for here. This guy's got this ability here, Looming Dread. Use on a unit if it's a board or hero, minus 48% speed and 22% missile resistance, right? That is particularly important because Haunters have missile resistance, right? All Mournguls in general have a pretty good amount of missile resistance, but being able to tear that away will make it much more vulnerable to ranged attacks. Likewise, the speed debuff can be combined with the fact that the assassin himself, the Master Assassin, does actually have poison. He has poison anti-infantry missiles, as well as having Weeping Blade and armor piercing in melee. Honestly, a pretty good hybrid combatant. His low HP is really his letdown. He does have Rival Hide Talisman though, Concealment Bombs. He's got Slippery to give him some more melee defense, an Assassin Bro here as well with a similar loadout. So yeah, interesting. Interesting. Coast is going to be taking the hill. I guess you could also use that with Giselles to snipe Noctilus as well. He does have just the basic character missile resistance of 15%, right? So it's decent enough, but I think especially against the Haunter, that's going to be a really, really nice pick. Got this Plague Priest kind of hanging out here as well up in front with some summons. In a little bit of a dangerous situation. I don't know, I guess he's just scouting. I don't know about scouting with your caster, but maybe it's a strat. Not like he's actually in that much danger, but... You were down to play bingo, but he was just counting. Yeah, I don't know. No idea. No idea. This little Plague Rat also has no idea what's about to happen to him. Because the Mourngul does have stock, that's one thing. Mournguls have stock, right? So Plague Priest is still actually hidden, though, and now just barely gets revealed. I'd imagine that the Haunter is going to come straight after him, and once it gets close enough... Ooh, but Concealment Bombs being popped here by the Assassin, allowing them to get close. Giselles going to pop up over on this flank, start taking pot shots at whatever they can, which, honestly, shooting the Hounds, not great in terms of value, but... it is pretty good. He does summon some Plague Monks here, and this is an interesting choice. They're going to both scout. It is pretty expensive, Winds of Magic, and they're going to get cleaned up pretty hard by those Depth Guard, but if any of them can get through and get to those bombers, like, I get that. And also it does reveal that Haunter, which now he knows that it's there, and, yeah, a little bit of expensive Winds of Magic to pay, but it's okay, no big deal. Zales... proving that they are actually Skaven, not the most accurate in the world, and the Rat Ogre's also probably obstructing some of their shots as well, but there they get a nice little side shot. Unfortunately, their DPS is just not what it used to be. I'm actually not that big of a fan of Giselles right now. I think they might be an overrated unit, perhaps. Yeah, it was N16. It was not N17, right? Because we all know... or no, it's N7 that's from Mass Effect, duh. Wow, yeah, those Plague Monks actually came back from route there in the very back, and Giselles are moving up, doing some skirmishing. The hill situation is a little bit of an issue, but because Giselles have, like, shorter range, it's also like, not really an issue at the same time. But the bomber is now getting lit up a little bit here. Yeah, I was going to say, probably just start focusing on Noctilus, honestly. Like, the character-killing power of the Jezzails, again, not what it used to be, but it is something. See the Rat Ogres kind of hanging around right on top of this unit of Jezzails. They're ready to countercharge the Wolves if they come in. Vampire Coast player wants to get in combat as quickly as possible, but the Jezzails need to be careful they don't come too far forward here. It's like another Rat Summon. Probably another Plague Monk. Nice, yeah, hopefully going to pull some of these kind of higher value targets in there. I'm a little bit worried about the Bombers just going straight in on those Plague Monks, but Clan Rat Summon likewise being used at the same time to kind of help break up the Depth Guard a little bit there. The Plague Priest, honestly, if he's saturated in melee likewise, he does a bit of armor piercing. Could get some damage on those boys, but Master Assassins in the back, his concealment bombs. Oh, look at that. He actually drops the targeting on the Haunter from the concealment bombs. Now, I don't know that I would actually take this melee engagement. Oh, the Rival Hide Talisman gets punted away. That's a little bit rough. Noctilus, I think, is a decent enough combatant that I might not want to take this, and also the Hunger will allow the Mourngul to regenerate while it's in melee, but right now it's just taking an obscene amount of damage from the Jezzails and from the Master Assassin himself as well. Look at that damage. That is pretty legit, all things considered. If we take a look at another kind of point in the battlefield, Skaven are doing a decent job of breaking up this assault, but these Natty Boobos are in a little bit of a dangerous position right there. And, yeah, man, this Haunter, this snipe attempt on this Haunter, and he does get it! The disintegration goes down, Mourngul Haunter is dead, and now Noctilus in the Assassin, sorry, Master Assassin, oh, he's getting blasted by bombers right now, though, that's not good. He pops concealment bombs, runs back in. If the Assassin and the Master can finish off Noctilus here, that'll be pretty good, but Noctilus is a super tanky character, very high melee defense. You're probably going to have to wait to use the, maybe he'll get some damage in. There's the character debuff. No, keep expecting it to pop back up, the Looming Dread. But wow, look at Noctilus just getting absolutely creamed now by these two Skaven characters. This makes me so happy, man. Probably going to save this one. Master Assassin is such an underrated character. Like, I don't see him being used very much, but that Weeping Blade as well, combining with, because the regular Assassin does quote-unquote non-AP, right? But the Weeping Blade giving a 50% armor debuff, and Noctilus goes down as well. That is absolutely huge. You can see a lot of the Vampire Coast units are going to start crumbling right away. Granted, there are still these Mournguls here who are going to be pretty tough to kill. But Depth Guard now moving in, realizing they probably should have been protecting the whole time against those Assassins, which is probably true. The Depth Guard will actually do quite well. The Assassin and Master both have low armor, rely primarily on their physical resistance. Some more Clan Rats being summoned up, though, and you can see the Rat Ogres are still doing quite well for the most part. Over here, they were trying to kind of thrown in to stop the regular Mournguls, which is a decent enough play. But just through army losses at this point, like, these Mournguls could actually tank out, like, a lot of this Skaven army, like a surprising amount. But I guess Jezzails probably have enough ammo left, and just army losses here as the other units crumble away. That will lead to these Mournguls also disintegrating. So yeah, man, I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Using those debuffs to snipe that Haunter with the Jezzails. Like, you don't see a Jezzail snipe that often, and some people might hate that. I think that would kind of be rough against certain other factions, but specifically here to counter Noctilus and Mournguls, number one, they're undead, so they deserve everything they get. Number two, it's the Master Assassin. That's so cool. I love it. I'm going to save that one. I'm definitely saving that one. I go over here. So, fun fact, you can actually, it will create an autosave even if you're spectating. This is not super relevant for everyone, but even if you are spectating, it will still create a new autosave, which you can then rename. So, yeah, Master Assassin, beautiful use of that there. Yeah, man, that was beautiful. Good job by F-Pod. Let's go ahead and get Flying Taco ready on deck. And then we'll probably mix in Red Legion after. It looks like he might actually be ready, perhaps. Yeah, Depth Guard was pretty far away. That's why Coast is better than Pirates. Well, they do have heavy cavalry, so there's that, but they lack gunpowder, so there's that. A little bit of give and take there. And they're both undead, so there's that. Ooh. Nice job to Skaven there. Taco is incoming. Just want to be the Senate. Masters versus Beastmen. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah. I guess against Morgar to lower his missile resistance, maybe you could snipe him with Giselles, or like against Chaos. Big Bird's a pretty common pick there, so you could also use it to control him. Right? That Skaven matchup will change a lot if they get giant rats. That is true. Very, very true. Let me go ahead and lock in a map here. What shall we do? Ooh, yes. Let's go for... Eshin's a pretty good one. Picks Empire, bans Dwarfs, and Greenskins. Flying Taco picks Nakai. Nice! So for those of you guys who are asking for it... Yeah, it's cool. Exactly, James Pack. I like that synergy combo. I'm a huge fan of that style of play. And like, the scroll stuff, it's pretty basic. Wait, what? What is this bowling here now doing? The F-Pod, oh yeah. Empire versus Lizardman. Yep, I haven't even been tracking the wids. I guess, let's see. Let me go back and count them, actually. Let's see. So, we had that. There. Then that, okay. Storm Runner. I want to make sure I get the scoreboard actually updated correctly. Yep, and then he beat Patty's Bretonia. Cool, so he's up to 2 wins then. Just want to make sure I got that correct. Okay, so we'll go over here. This up to 2, change that. Oops. Change that to... yes. Alright, there's that. Legion with 2 wins. Now, the Usurper, F-Pod. How can he do? Will he... Not F-Pid, F-Pod. Will he prevail? One very cool build so far. Nice! Congratulations, Falcon. Finally finished the Vortex. Campaign boat. Ooh, Black Ark. Yeah, Black Ark campaign's actually, like, Lokir's campaign's hard at the start, but it's pretty fun. Oh yeah, the Vortex final battle is super easy once you are, you know, whatever you want. Oh, they're ready for me, okay. Ooh, out of all the different ranged infantry, what do I prefer to use? Actually, I think right now crossbowmen, because they're cheap and they have good enough AP, but they're also not as so expensive as to tie down the rest of the funds of your army. Like, they work well in that combined arms approach. Although, if the Lizardmen win cavalry engagement pretty decisively, it can be tough protect them. I don't know. Crossbowmen probably are the ones I would say. If I would prefer not to bring ranged infantry. Maybe you can make them work. But huntsmen are also kind of okay. Although the heavy armor of the dinos makes them not as good. That's why I think the crossbowmen are really good value there. Oh no, he's back. Okay, let's have a look at some builds here. Nakai the Wanderer, Skink Priest, Lore of Beasts. We've got a bunch of Cold One Riders here. Just literal load of Skinks, Javelins, and regular cohorts. Mixed, Chameleons, Legion of Chocolates, Feral Dreadsaurian, and Nakai. Nakai. Oh, look at that. Yes, this is perfect. This is excellent placement. This is perfect, Nakai. Nothing wrong at all with this. Don't ask what he's doing. For the Empire side, we've got a front line of state troops. Yeah, with one free company. Interesting. Great cannon, some spearmen, 4 outriders. Big fan of that. Carl, Empire Knights, Life Wizard. Pretty standard stuff, honestly, in this matchup. Nakai, yes. Did you see his placement? Look at his placement. Nakai is totally fine. He's actually protected, completely protected by the Dreadsaurian. Nakai torpedo. It's an aircraft carrier. Oh no, he bopped him out on the side there. That was fun. Dreadsaur, yes, exactly. Chameleons at the start doing some nice counter skirmishing with those outriders. They will take a little bit of damage in return, but they can trade okay with their poison and missile resistance. Lizardmen largely moving up in general. Empire Knights are going to go all in. Legion of Chakra, though, here with Nakai should be an okay start to things. Oh, Nakai wants it. He wants it. So does the Dreadsaurian. And the Empire Knights are actually slower than the Dreadsaurian, especially after they've been poisoned by those missiles. So they are going to actually get caught there. Maybe. Looks like the Dreadsaurian doesn't want to do a charge animation. It really doesn't want to do a charge animation, but it could. There we go. Now it kills a few models instantly. And is able to catch up with a few of them. The Cold One Riders also catching up now. And this is the thing. Empire doesn't have poison missiles. One of the few factions in the game, actually, doesn't have any form of poison missiles. I guess there are quite a few, now that I think about it. But it can be an issue, especially because Empire Knights are not that fast to begin with. 66 speed is kind of on the lower end for heavy cavalry. So those guys are definitely going to get caught there and sacrificed. F-Pod now just kind of realizing. And, yeah, switching his cannon up there. His Outriders probably also, as that kind of blob forms, at least try and get some fire in there. But right now, Taco's making a really nice kind of frontline push here. You wouldn't think that these Skinks are all that impactful, and they're really not, to be honest. Like, Empire Knights can just clean them on the charge, right? But as a supporting unit in this type of situation to screen, they're pretty fast, too. So against cavalry, like, you can see here, 66 speed, as I mentioned. These guys are 46 speed, so with the poison, they can actually zone and screen cavalry pretty efficiently. Although, again, state troops will pound for pound just punch them in the face very cost effectively. Carl also kind of hanging around here, but it looks like more Empire Knights getting caught up here by F-Pod. And like I mentioned, cavalry fights can be a problem. Cold One Riders very cost effective here. And because all of your focus is kind of on the Dread Saurian, right, you end up not really focusing your tools on these Cold One Riders, and then that means you lose the cavalry fight, potentially. Nice Flock of Doom there, though, from the Lizardmen also. And here comes the Manticore Summon from the Lore of Beastcaster. Nakai's not actually doing anything, which is great. But Carl jumps down. He tried to goon that caster, it looks like, perhaps before it got the Manticore Summon off. But now Carl's in a really bad position. Going to be getting surrounded by Cold One Riders, rear charged by the Manticore. He's holding out okay for the time being, but loss of all those Empire Knights without really much to pay for it is pretty rough. Still a lot of missile units online with these Outriders, but they also have taken some pretty serious losses. The cannon, likewise, because the Outriders are kind of all in front of it, it doesn't have a clear arc of fire. It's probably not actually shooting right now. But yeah, unfortunately just not going to be able to protect the cannon, although nice enrage there with the Outriders, able to actually get enough fire to enrage the Dread Saurian into the side of the infantry there, keeping the cannon safe for that much a little bit longer. But again, it's not actually firing right now because of the Outriders in front of it. Maybe it is firing over their heads. I don't know. Can't really see. Carl. Where's Carl at? Totally lost track of Carl. He's out here somewhere, running away from the Manticore, trying to kite it to death. Cold-Blooded has been used now on the Dread Saurian, so it can push through and try and get on these cannons. Likewise, the Cold One Riders also getting through. And this is one issue with Outriders. They do have to get set to be able to fire. But if they can enrage any of these units here, that's obviously going to be quite nice. State Troops actually do have a pretty commanding position up on the high ground there. There's quite a few Sigmar's Sons left, some other Spearmen and so on. So perhaps Empire can bring this back. Not looking great right now. Losing this Lore of Life caster as well is going to be a big deal. And look, I'm not even highlighting Nakai doing a thing. Look, Nakai did a thing. He killed a caster. Nakai killed a caster. Yeah, don't ignore all the, you know, Cold One Riders and everything that helped him. See, it was all Nakai. He did a thing. Yeah, the funny thing is, I mean, Nakai has 3 kills, literally, like, didn't do anything the whole battle. Could have been even to Skink Chief on foot. I guess he does give perfect vigor to whatever's around him, which is maybe a thing, but I don't think this battle's been relatively short. I guess this Dread Saurian is very tired. And does he even have the perfect vigor? No, Nakai literally has nothing. It's just a naked Nakai. Carl is much better than Nakai, but Nakai's army is what wins it, right? Nakai himself literally killing a caster, and that's it. Oh, yes. Yep. It was an attempt. You know, I actually don't hate War Wagons in this matchup, too. They are slower than Cold One Riders, so they will get caught by them, absolutely. But because they continue firing while in melee, they also, you know, they have 3 models only with a lot of HP each, so it's like hard to actually get rid of the models, right? Unlike Outriders, where you can kill, you know, basically every single model, which there are 45 models, right? I don't know. Wagons might have been a better pick here. It's hard to say. I don't really think... I don't know. I have to kind of look into that, but... Outriders are also very, very solid, as we saw. If you can get them set and get them firing. I think, yeah, the loss of the Empire Knights was just tough. He played definitely too far forward with them. Obviously, with the poison missile change now, and that's something that I think players, including myself, are going to need to adjust with the Empire cavalry, especially. You need Nakai to kill a caster. Yeah, that's the only way in this game to kill a caster is with Nakai. The question is, could that summoned Manticore have killed Nakai? Better than 80 Spearman kills? I don't know, 80 Spearman kills would be pretty impressive. At this point, what just got eaten? Was that the caster? Bunch of units over here getting mopped up. Outriders way out in the boonies getting cleaned up by Cold One Riders. Honestly, Cold One Riders, not even the spear ones, the regular Cold One Riders are such an issue in this matchup. They're so cost effective here. They're like better Empire Knights, basically. What army would I bring to beat this Lizardman army? I don't know. I have to think about it a little bit. I might go for... I do like Carl here. I don't know, honestly. I would cut the cannon for sure and replace it with a war wagon. I'd probably cut all of the Outriders, actually, and replace them with wagons and go, like, spears and halberds to hold off. Like, if you can make a little box with the... circle the wagons, so to speak. Make a box for the wagons, rather. I don't know. Or try and... It's just... Or you could go in the opposite direction and go with less infantry and try and win mobility with the wagons, but I feel like that's going to be potentially tough. Maybe you could do it, though, because all you really need to do is beat the Cold One Riders, and, like, yeah, the Dread Saurians fast enough to catch up with the wagons, but if you're continuously pulling away and screening with other things and, you know, diving with Carl and so on, it could actually probably work out okay. Yeah, Cold One Riders definitely carry this matchup. The Spear Riders are also good here, but the Cold One Riders at 850 especially, just so cost-effective at fighting Empire Cavalry. Ends up causing a lot of issues for mobility. Which, because the Dread Saurian especially, and the Carnosaur are very mobile, fast-moving, hard-hitting monsters, you have to be aware of them, and, like, Demis just don't cut it against, especially against the Saurian, but Carl might cut it. He's coming in here, face-pounding the Saurian, and that's why I would think you definitely want to keep Carl here. Carl's very strong in this matchup, but... yeah, Carl with wagons, and knights, and anti-large infantry, maybe. Halberds need a buff to armor. Yeah, I think halberds should be 50 armor, honestly, for what they cost. They're okay, but they're super squishy. And that would help them against certain types of missile units. It's not going to help a ton. 50 armor honestly isn't enough, but it's a little bit better. Anyway, well played F-Pod there. It's kind of a decent build, but like I said, if you were to ask me, definitely cut the Free Company. I mean, I guess they got some kills here. They're okay against skinks, but cut the Great Cannons, probably change all these Outriders for War Wagons, and then go from there. Good, good. Yeah, GG. Well played. Well played indeed. Okay, so... F-Pod falls, and now in his place we get the Taco, the dreaded Flying Taco. Yeah, it's rough. 66 speed on Empire Knights is rough. Empire Heavy Cavalry, maybe you just want to go Lance Demis only, like 2 Lance Demis only for mobility. They just don't have the same, like, body mass to stop things up, but Empire Knights are just too slow. Demigryph Knights are faster. I want to say they're, like, in the 70s range. Yeah, no idea. Anyway, go ahead and get Red Legion in, if he's ready. And if not, we'll go ahead and move to the next person on the reserve, which is Gobbo Slayer. Gobbo Slayer versus Taco. This is going to be a good one. Okay, looks like he's not ready yet. That's fine. But we'll bring in Gobbo Slayer. Alright, alright. Get a little Med 2 tunes flowing once again. I gotta take a real quick phone call while these guys are getting set up. I'll also pop the map here. Let's go Doc Karaz. And I'll be right back. Yes, I see Gabo, or Flying Taco had to run. No big deal. Okay, let's go ahead and get the next one in. You've got Valkanos. Okay. Thought he might have crashed or something. All good, though. Hey! Thanks, Wicked. Thanks for slaying the boss today. Reminding people to like the stream. And it does help. If you are wondering, it does actually help, yes. Steam update? No. It is Tuesday, maybe. I think it's late enough in the day now, though. I think that usually happens earlier in the afternoon. But Taco vacates his title. And so now, let's see. Oh, I'm doing really good at typing. That was horrible. Anyway. Oh yeah, Bob, I get that. F-Pod should have been back in. Yeah, I guess that's probably true. But I want to get through as many people as possible. We have still a few people who wanted to join, so if F-Pod, if you're here in the chat and you would like to join back in, I can probably fit you back in. Kitten's coming to say hello. Kitten. Napping all day. Was taking some stuff out this morning, some old furniture, kind of moving some stuff around, and my cat is a little scaredy cat. She gets kind of stressed out when we do stuff like move large objects. She's doing fine now. What Discord server? It is my Discord server. The Dov... Dov Company. You can find a link down in the description below. I got a tag. Who tagged me? Somebody tagged me in Turin's Discord. Oh, Turin's running a poll for the ECL format. Okay. Okay. Yes, thanks, Wicked, for linking it. Also there. And yes, we'll put them back down to 0. Whoops, not 10, 0. Oh, come up here, kitten. I know you want to hang out. Here. Come on. No? Okay. Turns out Black Orcs don't beat ghosts. Yeah, the Banshees are actually really good in this matchup. Okay. Taco had to run. He just had to vacate the title. we're moving on. Oops, smacked my mic there. Sorry about that. Yeah, unfortunately Taco had a go, but he came, he saw, he conquered, and then immediately left. 4 Cairn Wraiths, 2 Hex Wraiths. Ooh, that's pretty heavy. That's pretty heavy, and if you spread that out, as long as you don't blob up, like Brain Burst is an issue, but it won't be enough, I don't think, if you take enough ghosts. Oh, that's wild. Yeah, Fists of Gork is not going to be enough against that, especially if they spread out. Fists of Gork plus Brain Burst to even, like, if the player's on top of their micro, and they're not all blobbed up on the same one, maybe you could do it with those two, but if you take, like, just Little Wah, for example, which some people might, you're going to be in trouble. Oh, Troll Hag, yeah. Yeah, the Troll Hag, yeah. That's also a decently common pick. Personally, I think the Troll Hag, you might still bring her separately, even with no spells, just for the control abilities, but, like, I don't know. Actually, if you go Grom with the... I feel like you have to have Lore of Big Wah there, just because the magic is real, and it's one of your few, like, really reliable tools of magic damage. Yeah, just because Fata Buna and Spirit Leech, you just end up dumping all of your magic down a hole against Vampire Counts Ethereals if they're playing their cards, right? Just pick Biggins and win. The problem with Savage Biggins is they will get charged a lot harder than Black Orcs. Like, Blood Knights, you might think that the physical resistance is enough, but it's definitely not against something like Blood Knights. The armor is a lot better to have in that situation. Also, Black Orcs have more mass. They are slower, but they do have more mass. And the baseline immune to Psychology, because the problem with Black Orcs is, yeah, they have immune to Psych while Frenzy's active, but, you know, if Frenzy is leadership conditional, so if they take a giant charge in the face from Blood Knights, or even like a Black Coach, I don't know, if they take too much shock damage too quickly, they can lose out on that immune to Psychology and get terrified, whereas Black Orcs, you know, having that innately, they're going to take less shock damage because of the armor, and they have immune to Psychology themselves, right? So, counters both points. Trolls are okay. Trolls are okay. I think that is maybe one matchup where Stone Trolls are not meta, but anyway. Thanks, Med2 soundtrack once again. Okay. Now, let's see what we've got. Greenskins versus Eastman. Speaking of Biggins, or Beastman, Vampire Counts, yeah, I mean, you say no need for Black Orcs, and it looks like he definitely went with the Savage Biggin route. Spider Rider Archers, very, very nice for poisoning and kind of controlling. Likewise, Skarsnik, Double Giant. Actually kind of like that in this matchup. Giants are somewhat vulnerable to Blood Knights, but they'll trade well against most Vampire Counts single entities, and they're decently tough to kill with the right support. Like these Black Orcs, 8 peak loons are unbreakable, so that's nice. He did bring just the Hag, though. There's no Lore of Little Wah, so if there's ghosts... Nope, looks like no ghosts on Valkano's side here. He's got... Who's this lord here? Heinrich on horseback. Nice, so we're looking at some Krell summons. Mortis Engine, 2 Banshees. Okay, so there are some ghosts here, but probably not enough. And the Banshees are vulnerable somewhat to Spirit Leech, right? So, Blood Knights, Dire Packs... yeah, a couple of Crypt Horrors, too, for some extra mass. I'm not the biggest fan of Crypt Horrors, but they do have mass, and Poison, I guess, is nice here as well. Their weapon strength and defensive stats are just so low, though. Only 15 armor, 25 defense, 70 weapon strength. I mean, I guess it's okay. It's... No, it's not Tree Men, but that's on the lower end for monstrous infantry. Do Banshees destroy Giants? Kind of. The Banshees have to be fighting with support. If the Banshees get one-on-one with the Giant has enough weapon strength that it'll just take him to Pound Town. If you're fighting on top of zombies, though, and other like grave guards and stuff, where the Giants' attack animations are getting distracted and it's not hitting just the Banshee, it is pretty good. I mean, it can be enough. Anyway, Spider Rider moving up, doing some nice poisoning. They're going to be able to skirmish basically this entire like Vampire Count's force all at the same time, right? He's going to be able to poison a lot of these units. He's a little blobbed up right now, but going all in, trying to get damage on the Vargolf. Honestly, the damage for Spider Riders is not really what you're looking for, and getting them caught here by these hounds is going to be a bad move, but most of them do manage to get away. There are only a handful of units getting, models rather, getting caught up in those hounds, and actually even some of those escape with just a little bit of HP damage. They're only lost, what, like 4? I see 4 dead spiders over there. Something like that. Trying to control the Blood Knight's movements is going to be very important. There's only the one unit, though, right? So, like, the Biggins actually are going to maybe end up being a good pick here. They'll trade very efficiently against these Crypt Horrors. And the Crypt Horrors actually are kind of like more of a counter for Black Orcs, right? So it's an interesting one. Kind of mind games. I was saying Black Orcs were good, but I may be proven wrong here. And because Valkanos only has the one unit of Blood Knights there, Fate of Buna is going to be thrown at it, which is probably pretty good value. I mean, he can heal that up pretty easily from... Ooh, nice. And a little... Oh man, the Skarsnik's Prada, it didn't generate any more missiles. That kind of sucks. But Spirit Leech on them now after the Fate of Buna will chew away models pretty efficiently. Not that Blood Knights care about losing models at all, but that much HP damage basically is like eating up that much of their healing cap space. And yeah... Valkanos here. We'll see. The Spider Riders are staying on him, which is a good idea. Just keep eating up much of their HP as you can, as quickly as you can. You can see the healing cap now does appear on the end of the health bar there, so all that little chip damage over time can add up very quickly. Just patient skirmishing here from these Spider Riders. Let's see. Nothing really maneuvering up and around the sides right now, just kind of straight in. Here come the Savage Orc. Oh, regular Savage Orcs actually, not Biggins. Interesting. Definitely thought they were Biggins. They're charging in here, though. They're going to get a nice charge on those zombies. What is this? Yeah, no Biggins. Huh. Regular Savage Orcs with one Black Orc. I am just struggling today, guys. Anyway, the regular Savage Orcs aren't going to be nearly as good as the Biggins at trading, but they'll still trade actually pretty well with those Crypt Horrors. And the Giants now moving up as well. We've got an Assault of Stone. Where these Blood Knights are. This might do some friendly damage. You can see the Savage Orcs do try and pull away, though. Here comes the Assault of Stone. Oh, man, absolutely murders my frame rate, and I think that finished off the Blood Knights. No, not quite. Another nice Fanatics cast coming over, too, through those Sternsmen. That did quite a bit of damage there, but you can see the Savage Orcs getting routed off relatively quickly. Black Orcs move up into this pocket with Skarsnik, trying to get rid of these Crypt Horrors here. The infantry fight, I mean, obviously the zombies are going to get crumbled pretty quickly, but that leads to, in many cases, Savage Orcs taking quite a bit of damage. Some nice hound play there as well. The Wolf Riders, didn't even see them. They sweep in here to try and get rid of the actual wolves, and they'll be able to do okay at it, but they actually might not win, especially if Valkanos can countercharge with the second unit here. This is not great for the Mortis Engine, though. I mean, regular Savage Orcs, even though they're not anti-large, they do have pretty good weapon strength. They're going to do some damage to this Mortis Engine. Definitely wants to fight on top of zombies at the very least, but Blood Knights now being pulled out and away. With Savage Orcs did take a little bit of that charge, but they're just going to provide some nice bodies there to kind of screen out. Wah being popped, which gives immune to psychology to everything, so even if, you know, Frenzy drops in... Oh, man! Wow! Wow, do you see that hag get absolutely tossed by the, Oh, the Vargolf, man, just, like, literally picking up and yeeting the Troll Hag, which is, like, the same size as him across the field. That's hilarious. Vargolfs with their infinite mass. This Giant actually over here is taking damage, and this is what I was talking about. You see how the Banshee's gotten pounded, but at the same time, all of this together is kind of chipping, and the Banshee isn't going to get finished off here because the Giant's getting distracted. You can get an Invocation of the Heck, you can get some heals from the Mortis Engine, get Kemmler into melee, get that sword going as well, which it is now. And yeah, very easy to kind of recover that HP, right? So one-on-one, the Giants will absolutely pound the Banshees. With support, though, and over on this side, obviously, a lot more decisive for the Greenskins, and this is potentially huge here. The Vargulf is over on this side, right? Rather than being where the Vampires are winning over here, it's kind of over-chased a little bit, gotten greedy going after this River Troll Hag, and now is separated from a lot of the rest of this army here. Yeah, we'll see. Savage Orcs getting routed off here. There's a few more recovering there, but most of the infantry had been kind of tied up in that fight. Just the Black Orcs holding over here, which, I mean, they are holding. Absolutely wrecking the Crypt Horrors. Skarsnik, of course, with his anti-large will be quite nice with that as well. Yeah, just charge in. That's what's up. Savage Orcs, they do have a charge bonus of 28, which is pretty good for infantry, especially in this cost range. They'll get some damage in on the charge there, but Vargulf, of course, has plenty of mass to just path through. Does not care at all about those Savage Orcs. They're puny. I mean, we just saw him yeet the Troll Hag, so... of course, Savage Orcs can't hold him back. But at this point, yeah, the Black Orcs are squaring up. They're going to get charged here by a bunch of these armor-piercing units, which is definitely not amazing, but... Oh, Skarsnik's Prada going after the Banshees there. That's an interesting play. I kind of like that. I don't know how much magic is left for the River Troll Hag, though, but oh, look at this. He enrages the Mortis Engine, so it can't pull away here. And I don't know if he's going for the snipe now with the Giant. It's a little bit hard to see what's going on in this Giant mess, but it does look like the Giant's attacks are likely targeting the Mortis Engine. And with the Fermented Fungi holding it in place, it's not actually taking much damage, though, unfortunately. And likewise, Skarsnik, that whole time, also was not in melee using his anti-large, so I don't know. Spider Rider's getting some shots in the back. This Mortis Engine, though, I think the fact that Mortis Engine's still alive is basically just a win. Just a win there. I think he mistimed that. Like, right now would have been when you wanted to use the Fungi. I mean, it is kind of trapped in here anyway, but let's see. Can Skarsnik get in and finish this thing off? The Giant, there we go. The Giant pushes through, pushes Skarsnik into base contact. Oh, man, keep those Spider Riders in there, man. Yeah, I would have kept him in there. Now this Mortis Engine has a potential avenue of escape back this way if it can get turned around, but it is having a pretty hard time turning around. The Banshee attacking all these units in the back is also not great. Black Orcs just chopping, though. They're up to 79 kills, getting close to an XP chevron here. The fact that the Black Orcs are supporting is great. Oh, man, but that sucks. Yeah, the Mortis Engine is now able to disengage, get free. These Blood Knights also at their healing cap, so that earlier damage may end up proving critical here. Greenskin's a little bit behind on the balance of power, but Skarsnik and the Giant mostly stabilizing here. Now they're getting a good engagement on the Banshee, where she doesn't have a lot of support here. She's getting circle beaten by Black Orcs, and Skarsnik and the Hag as well can kind of team up and go after her. So that's pretty good. Mortis Engine's coming back, though, and it looks like actually the Troll Hag's taking quite a bit of damage there. Kemmler doing his thing. I haven't seen a Krell summon. Did he even bring it? Yeah, he did bring Krell. Did I just completely miss Krell? That would make me sad. A nice use of the wall, though, with the immune to psychology that will allow some of these units to fight that Vargulf. And there's the second Fermented Fungi. Can the Giant actually get it done, though, is the question. Right now, it's not hitting on any of its attack animations. The Spider Riders are going to rear charge there. Can Skarsnik also get into contact with the Mortis Engine? Right now, oh man, how did that Mortis Engine not take any damage that whole time? That is so frustrating. That is horribly bad RNG. Now, finally, with the Fungi gone and with actual melee defense, of course, then it doesn't. This is all. That's like quite a few rolls that just completely missed, and I'm not sure what's going on here because the Giant. There we go. The Giant has enough attack to finish it off, but man, that was wild. That was very, very wild. Blood Knights literally fighting to the last man, and now finally crumbled. Maybe this is where the Greenskins can start to pull it back. If this Giant can hold its leadership together, he's got Kemmler in a vice here now of spiders. Skarsnik smashed up against the Banshee, which is maybe not great for Skarsnik, but Banshee has low enough weapon strength, it'll take her a while to kill him. So Greenskin's doing a decent job kind of stabilizing here. The Troll Hag getting chased off, though. This has been the story of the game. The Hag just getting absolutely bullied by the Vargulf there. But with Kemmler going down, now all of a sudden, tables are going to start to be turned a little bit on the Man, that was such bad RNG, I almost can't get over it. Tables are going to start to be turned a little bit, but this giant, the giant's going to go down here to the Vargulf. I mean, it's basically just like get as many attacks as you can, but also the mass situation is weird. You'll notice that the... Oh, there we go, there's a hit. The giant may not actually... might get staggered a little bit here, but Skarsnik gets in here, he gets a good attack, he actually staggers the Vargulf there. The Banshee's still here though, oh man! And the Black Orcs have routed, yeah, I don't think it's gonna be enough. I don't think Gobbo Slayer has, yeah, now it's the Skarsnik all alone with two terror-causing single entities. No! Ravens! Giant actually dies there straight up, it's just a matter of time now. Or Skarsnik gets terrified. Maybe he can hold his leadership together. Perhaps. Oh man, huge mistake by Valkanos not staying on Skarsnik there with everything. He now allows some of these other units to come back. And with Skarsnik with support, fighting this Banshee, that's actually really, really good, right? Potentially, he can come back now with this. Maybe. I still think it's going to be really, really hard for Skarsnik to kill everyone. But he does finally get into range. A little bit of anti-large. Does he have the anti-large buff? Yes, he does. So giving that to the Spider Riders here, if they're gonna, or the Savage Orcs, whatever, if they're gonna have to fight the Vargulf. Oh man, let's see. This is gonna come down to a lot of RNG. Gobbo Slayer's already been kind of getting screwed on RNG in this game, if you ask me. But yeah, I think that's it. It was an attempt. Skarsnik, though, let's see. Can he take on this Vargulf? I just think with the Vargulf and yet the Banshee together, the Sternsmen too, let's not discount them. They actually have anti-infantry, and therefore will do a decent amount to Skarsnik. I don't know. Skarsnik's not giving up without a fight, that's for sure. And his units aren't either, as more Black Orcs come back. Yeah! Oh man, Black Orcs charge the Banshee. Yes, here we go, with their charge bonus active. They should be able to get some hits. Come on. Come on, lads. Banshee, again, the high weapon strength of the Black Orcs kind of helps here a little bit. The Banshee will take some hits, absolutely, and you can see she starts crumbling. She's like, uh-oh, maybe this wasn't such a good idea. She's much faster than the Black Orcs, though, so she can pull away. Black Orcs then, charging the Sternsman? That's probably a pretty good play. Skarsnik charging the Vargulf there. Banshee's crumbling, but of course, crumbling being a completely balanced mechanic means that... yeah, they're going to continue to fight. The extra leadership, unfortunately, not going to be enough to hold the Black Orcs in here. Likewise, Spider Riders getting countercharged directly probably will lead to them getting terrified immediately. Actually, not immediately. But, ooh, Skarsnik's getting some hits. Can he do it? Can the lad do it? I believe Skarsnik. Oh, man, he's got this Vargulf into crumbling. I think he might do it. Look at that balance of power swing back as both of these units are in crumbling. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, man. You got this, Skarsnik. I believe, bro. I believe. I believe you can beat this Vargulf, Skarsnik. You can do it. You can do it. Do it for Gork and Mork. Do it for the Gobbos. This Banshee, I don't know if she's even going to make it back to the fight because she is crumbling. And likewise, this Vargulf also... Oh man, the thing is he can't bully Skarsnik, right? He can't knock Skarsnik around, which is one of the biggest strengths of the Vargulf. And he's getting punished too, getting staggered and goes down. Skarsnik's got it, folks. Wow. Wow. That game though. What? What? Skarsnik's not immune to terror, but he is... just that badass. Look at that. Look at that boy. Look at that boy. Wow, that was probably super loud. Sorry, guys. GG indeed. He's got it. He's got it. Maybe. Will the Sternsman beat Skarsnik? Oh no. Oh no, plot twist. The Sternsman beat Skarsnik? Maybe, actually. Unfortunately, Skarsnik has these animations where he keeps diving in, and suddenly Skarsnik's leadership is giving out. No way. No way. The Sternsman. Wow. Wow. Oh, Major Moolah coming in with the 2. Toss a coin for your streamer after that game, man. Wow! Stearnsman! Yeah. Stearnsman wins it. Stearnsman wins it, yep. Yep, Skarsnik actually doesn't have the stats to fight the Stearnsman.
In your name.
GG indeed. Wow, what a game. What a game. Wow. Absolutely beautiful. That was crazy, man. That build from Valkanos, obviously very strong. I like Goblet Slayer's build too, for the most part. It did his best he could with it. That's just a very, very close game, honestly. I think, really, with better RNG, Goblet Slayer might have been able... Like, he got screwed on RNG there quite a bit with the Giant fighting the Mortis engine. But, woo! Woo, that was close, man. That was close. Valkanos gets it with the win. That was an epic fight. Woo, yeah, right. Oh, man, I need to cool off after that one. Where was Krell? Yeah, where was Krell? Where was Krell? I must have missed Krell the whole time. Yeah. I didn't even see. I don't know. I didn't see what he did. It might not have been a mistake. I don't know what he ended up doing, but yeah, GG, man. Though that was incredible. GG. Let's go ahead and get the next one. Like it's gonna be Derez. Da, da, da. Okay. Da, da, da. Let's get some music going, because this might take a little bit of processing here to get in. Deal with some things here. No. No vampire counts mirror. I refuse. No, sir. Okay, so... Okay. Giving them the instructions for the, no. No. Vampire counts. Mirror is just a no. It's just a no for me, dog. Let's do... Drawn's a decent one, I think. Not really. These are literally all the same. We'll just do El Angui. That's fine. Make Isabella Chaos Hero. There we go. Give Chosen fear. Chosen actually probably should cause fear. I mean, just look at him. Alright, Valkanos gonna go Norska. And Vampire Pirates and Greenskins. Looks like Therese also gonna go Vampire Counts, so... Oh, really? Valkanos is RTK. Did not know that. Yeah, RTK's got a bunch of members now. It's cool. I like to see clans grow in. It's a good way to like get a collective of people together to practice. Get some good opponents that you can workshop secret builds against, away from prying eyes. Yeah, that Skarsnik. Yeah, Skarsnik anti-large fights well, but the Sternsmen actually, they have high defense. So, and Skarsnik has decent attack, but they have like high enough defense. I think they have something like 50 melee, in the range of 50 melee defense, which is enough against Skarsnik. They also, you know, they have anti-infantry. Means they actually hit him pretty hard, all things considered. So it's just not a good matchup for Skarsnik. They're also regenerating. He doesn't do as much weapon damage against them. It's rough. Another bot. Squires always beat non-squires. There we go. This is an interesting matchup. Historically, this has been a matchup it's much better than Chaos versus Vampire Counts, that's for sure. Norska has some tools here, absolutely. They can do some things. Just kind of depends on what you want to try and do. Yeah, I actually kind of like the Throwing Axe Hunters in this matchup, potentially. Just because... like, yeah, javelins, you might say, but they clean zombie summons faster, and they do basically comparable missile damage against large. Not quite, but, I mean, the AP is definitely nice, and Shield Breaker against, I mean, it doesn't really matter against stuff like Graveguard, but against Blood Knights it might matter. Double Mammoth Balefiend? Yeah, Double Mammoth can be okay. The Giver of Glory actually fire synergy with the Lore of Fire Balefiend is pretty good here. Because the Giver of Glory giving fire damage to whatever is trying to snipe. If you're trying to snipe the Mortis Engine in melee, that's super important. Or if you're going after any regenerating target, right? The Giver of Glory is nice to have. With Kindle Flame, of course, on top of it. Burning Head also, Fireball, very good here. So I like the Fire Famir in this matchup, yeah. Shadow Famir is okay, but I like the Fire Famir a lot more. 5 Zergs. Two War Shrines, yeah. King has to bring Nakai in game too. There we go. Yeah, Pendulum is also very good versus Blobs. I like Burning Head. I mean, they're kind of comparable in a lot of ways, but specifically because you also get fire synergy here on certain units that are very important, like the Mortis Engine. I think probably, and also like Vampire Count's infantry is generally slow enough that it can't dodge Burning Head. Usually, I mean, Pendulum, they definitely can't. But Pendulum against something like Elves or, you know, Skaven, where their infantry might be a little faster, they can potentially dodge. Although Skaven, it's nice to have the leadership debuff, so there's that. You can also get some free damage from Crumbling too if the Burnt does anything, which is basically nothing, right? You might get a full, like, whatever, how long, 15 seconds, which is literally only 150 damage, but whatever. Yeah. Okay, let's take a look here. Let me turn this music down a little bit, and we will take a gander at some builds. Yeah, I see mammoths. Exactly. I do see, like you said, the 5 Zergs, 2 War Shrines. I see what you're going for here. I do think this is very vulnerable to Blood Knights. Like, triple Blood Knight, I think, would probably beat this. Because Berserkers get wrecked by Blood Knights. But did he bring any? He actually did not. Okay, very interesting. He does have some Hex Wraiths, though. Interesting choice with Famir to bring... anytime you bring Ethereals versus Norska is potentially pretty risky, but I don't know. Maybe he's got something in mind here. Heinrich Kemmler actually really like, because Krell's basically a Halberd Lord. He can kill Famir like nothing else. Necromancer on foot. Got a Vargolf. It is Naked Kemmler. Nice. Man after my own heart. I mean, what? Vargolf. Mortis Engine, Unholy Lodestone there. Graveguard. Graveguard trade decently against Berserkers, but I think Berserkers probably win if they get a good charge. And the lack of Blood Knights is a big problem here. You might think like, oh, Norska's great at fighting heavy cavalry, but actually, no. It is not the Red Legion, it's the real Legion. Alright. Let's see. These guys are going to get started now. Hex Race immediately revealing themselves. Kind of scouting around. Interesting not to see the Chill guys specifically, but I guess these guys have fire damage, which is interesting. Hex Race are... A lot of people don't know this, but you don't see them super often, but they do have flaming attacks, which against something like Skin Wolves, I guess, would be okay, but I don't feel like Skin Wolves, they're not good here anyway, because Blood Knights also counter them. Yeah, the Vampire Counts build is not super well set up to deal with this. I will agree with that. But we'll see. The Berserkers might just end up getting ground down here. A lot of it's going to come down to the Mortis Engine, basically, if he can keep it protected or not. Nice little hit and run here. The Hex Wraiths aren't actually going to do all that much damage, because 34 charge bonus, 26 attack, kind of low-ish weapon strength, too. Like, not great stat line for a cavalry. They're kind of like cavalry, honestly, with the okay charge. Like, honestly, equivalent to something like, I don't know, Dark Riders in stats. Just the fact they're ethereal makes them good, but they did probably overstay their welcome. Of course, this giant degenerate blob fight in the center is really where things are going, and that Burning Head got a good chunk of zombies, but it probably also got a good chunk of... Oh man, it almost gets those Hex Wraiths. It does actually get probably a chunk out of those Hex Wraiths. That is just MLG play right there, to run into that. Marauder Berserkers end up not routing from that, and the Hex Wraiths actually start crumbling, so that was pretty nice. In this blob fight, though, it's going to kind of be interesting. You can see Krell's been summoned, and he's fighting the Famir. This is exactly what you want. Krell, basically for free, can kill, like, a few of these Famir models. He can't quite one-shot them, but right now, it looks like he has an attack order on the Mammoth. I think that's probably a mistake. Yeah, just wants to sit here and fight these Famir. That's the ideal target for him. Let the Vargolfs and everything else take care of the Mammoths. Is Kemmler actually fighting Wulfric? Wait. Okay, let's get in close in all of this mess and mayhem. Kemmler is, like, standing by Wulfric. Is he actually fighting him? Oh, he kicks him! Oh, he is fighting him! Okay, I just wanted to just have that image in our heads that under all of this mess, Kemmler is actually in there kicking Wulfric in the head and beating him. Oh, it's silly. Krell actually is a big part of that, right? Now, here comes Krell, and Krell's going to try and get on Wulfric. Wulfric nopes out of there. Can he actually disengage from the blob of zombies? We'll see. The Berserkers taking some severe damage from the Mortis Engine in the center, but out in the kind of dispersed engagements, they're doing much better. The Famir Balefiend, Shaman Sorcerer, rather. Yeah, interesting. Gets routed off there. I think it is probably worth it to upgrade for the Balefiend here. Although he does also get countered by the Anti-Large of Krell and other Anti-Large tools, but these Graveguard are going to crumble now, so the center pocket for the Vampires is largely still intact, and at the cost of, you know, 2 Mammoths HP, you can see these Vargulfs. You say it wasn't well set up to deal with this, but in fact, it was. It was just attrition, right? Berserkers are terrible in an attrition fight, like Champions specifically would have been much better in this situation, but once Krell wears off, the power spike will go down a bit, and, you know, if the War Shrines can get some good engagements here on the Vargulfs, but right now the Vargulfs are definitely owning it. Ooh, nice burning head too. I say nice burning head. Hopefully didn't get too many of those Berserkers. Is it going to overrun into the second line though? It does. Mostly only summon zombies, but yeah, it looks like the center death blob was enough that you could have honestly have changed the hex race for just about anything. Like Varric's Reavers probably would have been a better pick, just because you could cycle charge with them a little bit more if that's your intention. Like, I get the whole fire damage thing against Skinwolves, but I honestly think you don't need to worry about Skinwolves too much in this matchup. You see, the Mammoths, like, they bullied the Vargulfs in terms of mass, but because they're knocking the Vargulfs down, they're actually not doing that much damage. The Vargulfs can stand up and get, you know, attacks in return without too much issue, and then the Mammoths get distracted by other units nearby because they count as high threat. This is nice. I mean, the Mammoth getting a clean engagement here with Wulfric on the Mortis Engine, but you can see how quick the Vargulfs are to respond to that, get a nice little rear charge there, and route them off. And yeah, Krell also, you can see how much the Mortis Engine's got. 3 chevrons just from killing all the Berserkers. So yeah, no javelins, so the Mortis Engine just wrecks everything. That's true. Yep, that's true. Yeah, I mean, this 5 Berserker double War Shrine build, you guys say this build is pretty meta, but I actually can think of a lot of builds that would beat this. Berserkers, like, I get taking Berserkers to try and clean things out as quick as possible, but they are so bad in an attrition fight, and they're squishy enough that, like, a couple charges from Blood Knights, like, they're not going to kill something like a Vargulf. Javelins would have been pretty good here, actually, if you could have kept them protected, but maybe, I guess, that's what the Hex Wraiths are for? I don't know. Interesting build from Therese. Like I said, though, you could, honestly, Hex Wraiths are what, like 1150? I'd have to look how much Varric's Reavers are. Maybe they're only 1100, but it's an interesting one. Yeah, just even like Sword and Shield Black Knights would have been... they're not as fast, obviously, and they don't have the fire damage in case you want that, but... Need Werekin. Interesting. That's what the Hex Wraiths are for. Interesting. Okay. Because of Vargulfs. Yeah. Yeah, the problem is Javelins don't... They do a lot of DPS, but... I actually think... Yeah, I'd have to theory craft in around that one a little bit, but... I'd probably go in a little bit of a different approach in general. Oh, the Burning Head. Yeah. Yeah, that Burning Head. That was rough. But anyway, let's see here. Should have went with Throg. Maybe. Maybe. Although I think Krell still trades pretty well with Throg, if I remember right. But anyway, let's see. Who have we got left? I think it's just Red Legion, if he's still trying to play. Best of luck to Ice Power with his surgery tomorrow. Unfortunately, Taco, I think I'm going to have to bow out. It's getting pretty late. The stream's already gone on, what? We've been like 3 hours, maybe? But it feels like, yeah, 2.5 hours. Close enough. Frog, double mammoth, werekin, 5 zergs, and just blob it. I don't know though. I don't know if the. I think champs are going to be better in that blob fight for the center blob. Like I think you trade in for some champs. Honestly, the shielded champs, because they have way better melee defense and they still have good enough weapon strength to hit a lot of units hard. The speed's not as good, but just the armor is. The melee defense, their defensive stats are much, much better. So if you're trying to take a grind fight, at least from my perspective, you would want the shielded champions. They're like the only infantry really for Norska that can stand in a grind. They are pretty expensive, and they're going to get drained even more expensively by the Mortis engine, but yeah. Well, you're not always aware of your opponent's composition, but you can be aware of units that are really strong in general, or units that are very strong in specific matchups. So if you just think about the matchup, okay, he says just skip me. Okay, well, I think we might be at the end. It's a little bit of a letdown, I guess. Not really. That was a pretty fun one. You know what, actually, Taco? Let's do it. Let's do it. I'll bring you back in. Since he didn't get knocked out, let's just do it. Red Legion is not able to... Red Legion, I should say, is not able to play. The Legion, yeah, I saw you sent me that link, yeah. Yeah, the Blood Knights, though, the thing is, I don't have time to watch it right now. I'll watch it later, but my guess is he didn't play them correctly, because, like, Blood Knights, you can get them to their healing cap every single time if you don't misplay with them super hard. And basically that's the build. It's you just, like, cycle charge with the Blood Knights until the cows come home. And with overlapping healing, passive healing especially is super important. But active healing, of course, as well, making sure you get them concentrated if you want Invocation of Nehek, and especially operating them all in a blob together. Like, not in a blob necessarily, you don't want to blob up too much, you want to actually spread out and countercharge from different directions. Let's see here. I don't know, he might have actually gone AFK. Yeah, even double Blood Knights with Kemmler, I've had a lot of success. Like, I have a Kemmler just, like, endless wave build that I have had a lot of success in general. I've showed it off a few times on my channel. I guess that's where the naked Kemmler inspiration comes from. Maybe I won't take all the credit, but I'll take it. But that double Blood Knights. Yeah, I'm sure you guys have seen the build. A bunch of corpse carts, and lots of zombies, and spears are super important too. Skeleton spears are pretty good in that matchup. But yeah, Blood Knights, you play off the Blood Knights, at least for me, and that's just my own playstyle. The Vargulfs obviously are very strong, but I don't know, Taco might be AFK. Looks like he probably is, so... let's do this. Let's do this. I'm gonna go like this. We'll go ahead and just... I'll play the last game. Since this is the end, the final boss, like you guys were joking around. Naked Kemmler comes from the Uncle Gant. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't steal it from anyone. Like, I kind of started using that a while ago. Even before they nerfed the Krell summon, like, before they made the summons changes, I was using that. I don't know, to be honest, though. Maybe someone is using it in Warhammer 1. I'm not going to take original credit, but yeah, it's not something I stole from someone else. It's something I started doing on my own. Three Chaos versus 3 Undead versus 3 Chaos. Undead win, probably. High Elves ban Greenskins in Bretonia. Okay, okay. Is he trying to trick me into picking Empire? I think so. I think I'm being baited into picking Empire here. Dov Pistolier Knights. Pistoliers on heavy armored steeds with decent melee stats. Here's what I would like, Falcon, is basically you have... Oh no! Oh no. Might have to rehost the lobby. Here, let me do this real quick. I'll host... Oh. Failed to host. Oh no! No, did Steam just go down? No, Steam. No, don't do this to me now. No, Steam still seems to be up and running. Okay, can I host? There we go. That was weird. Maybe? Oh man, do I gotta restart my game? Am I the one that's bugging out here? Okay. Let's see. Oh no, Steam is disconnected. No! No! Why you do this? Okay, fine. I guess Steam is telling me to end the stream. Dang it. Yeah, Steam server went offline. No, play Nakai campaign now. Maybe. Maybe later. Maybe tomorrow. No! Oh, I was looking forward to that one. Another time. Yeah, I don't want to... It's the Steam update. No! I thought we had avoided it. I thought it was earlier in the day, but that's fine. That's fine. I guess if it is what it is, that will be the end of the stream. So thanks everyone for coming out. Been a big pleasure streaming for you guys. Just kind of kick it here, answer any questions for the time being. So Legion actually ends up coming out on top. An absolute scrap of a day. A lot of back and forth. Some really nice games. Probably should have saved a few more of those, honestly, but they're all on stream. I can always tell people to go back. When will I be back with more videos? Tomorrow we'll be having, obviously, more of a battle replays. I actually need to record some more tonight. Probably a Troy stream this weekend. Oh, the Three Kingdoms DLC was just announced. I can talk about that. The new Three Kingdoms DLC, I actually literally haven't watched the trailer. Between Troy, stuff going on with Total War Warhammer, like, I really haven't had a lot of mind to it. But actually, I have been playing it a little bit, and I can share that I have a schedule. Probably will be streaming it. Let me see here. Let me just double check. So, okay. I probably should have looked at this beforehand before talking about it, but yeah, so on the 21st, which is Friday. Okay, so Friday we'll be doing a stream for the new Furious, what is it, Furious Wild DLC for Three Kingdoms. I'm the worst promoter in the world at this, but the Furious Wild, that's it. So we'll be doing a stream of that on Friday, so you guys can check that out. It's elephants. I like elephants. Like, in historical, if you go back and play historical Total War games, like Rome 2 and Rome 1 are the main ones, like, the only quote-unquote monster units in that game are elephants, right? Which, they are super, super powerful. They're the OG quote-unquote monstrous infantry, right? Like 18 unit models, super hard hitting, right in that range. So it is a DLC about the Furious Wild. Like, if you watch the trailer, you can kind of see they have like a wild theme, the Nan-Mans, you know, so be excited about that.